What is the crack, everybody, and welcome to my video where I got the platinum trophy for Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. And this time round we're not saving dragons from Nasty Nork or collecting eggs. This time round Spyro is actually the one who gets abducted by a scientist, a fawn, and a big scaredy cat named Hunter. And for this game and the next one, Hunter turns out to be a bigger menace than any other main bad guy in this game in my opinion. And Nasty Nork is not returning from the last game because he's just had enough of Spyro. So we get a new bad guy and his name is Ripto, and he's got the biggest case of big man syndrome I've ever seen in my life. And like I already said, we're not going to be rescuing the dragons or getting the eggs back from the egg thieves. This time round we're going to be collecting talismans and orbs, and of course gems, and most importantly the trophies. And with that I got my first trophy called Well You Might As Well for completing Hunter's challenge, which was for just learning how to glide from place to place. There is also one other character that I didn't introduce yet, and his name is Moneybags, and he is the tightest, scroungiest fella you'll ever meet in your life. The next trophy I managed to unlock was something I don't do that often, and it's called Using Your Head. And how I managed to acquire this trophy was just by head bashing a goat in the level Colossus. These goats are very aggressive for some reason. Spyro is a dragon with many talents, and one of them that I didn't know was he's a great hockey player. As long as he doesn't need to hit the puck with a stick or anything, he just has to use his mouth. He's also great at catching fish, which brings me to my next trophy, Bad Sushi. And how I unlock this trophy is by not feeding any red fish to the big hungry idle head. How is it that Spyro, a purple little dragon, can learn to swim underwater, but Crash Bandicoot cannot learn how to swim? And while underwater with Spyro, I managed to get another trophy called Lockjaw, which I got for destroying all the robo sharks. When electrical sharks work underwater, they have electricity going through them, and electricity and water do not mix. It'd be like taking all your pills at once and just washing it down with a bottle of alcohol. Of all things you could tame, why would you want to tame a manta ray, especially if you don't really go underwater? How often does Hunter go underwater that he's going to need a pet manta ray to bring him places? I wonder if them three little turtles are like the alternate dimension of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, except there's only three. The next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Exterminate, and you get this for beating all the wound up robots in the level Hurricos. There's some enemies in this game that are called gear grinders, and it's not the robots. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. In the level Hurricos as well, it seems like they have a really bad defense system where they just put a big block of wood in front of the buttons that stop their power. Ripto won't do his own fighting, so he's got one of his lackeys, Crush, to fight you. And what he lacks in brain, he makes up for it in size. So he is the first mini boss you will fight. And Crush will be like a child. He'll bang and beat the ground until he tries to get his way and destroys Spyro. I know Crush is dumb and all, but I wonder why he follows orders from such a small little fella. Could you imagine how handy it would be if you got a guidebook on life? These big green hideous looking things are called jacklets, and for the next trophy called Bug Control, you have to get rid of all 18 of them in one super flight. I don't know what place in hell them things crawled out from. They can definitely go back to it though. Well, look at here, this is one great way to absolutely date your game. Has anyone done this dance in recent years? Has anyone ever done this dance unironically? Cannot decide which is worse, the first dance from the original or this one. I know there is a thing called bird brain, but what did this fella expect when he picked up the bucket like that? Like, what did he think was going to happen? And this next trophy that I managed to unlock was called Trouble No More, which you get for doing a clean run in the trolley, which is taking out all the gears. And my god, did I hate doing this. If you missed a jump or got blown up by a random TNT, it was just like tough shit. Jack and his three beans have nothing on the professor and his really weird seeds. I wonder, did he make these on the spot, or was he just like, maybe one day I need a seed that turns into a beanstalk? And the next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Not Cannon, which I got for destroying a TNT thrower with a cannon. Bit overkill, but there you go. I don't know what these pigeons done to deserve being flamed, but in the immortal words of Peter Griffin, bird is the word. And that's the name of the trophy I just got for flaming all the pigeons. This is what I don't understand. Hunter has all these orbs. It's like he squirrels them away and he won't give them to Spyro unless he helps him with absolute bullshit remedial tasks. Hunter is, without a doubt, the biggest jackass ever. And the next trophy that I managed to secure was called Duck and Cover. And to get this trophy, you have to avoid the genie wannabe and his attacks. He's also known as Bob. This scientist has the most erratic behavior I've ever seen. He has no idea where he's going half the time. He's more erratic than Charlie Sheen was on that No No Snow. It actually kind of surprised me that the token was a flute and not a bagpipe for this level. This next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Long Distance, and you get this for completing a long glide to get an orb in Autumn Plains. So not only is this bear absolutely money hungry, but he can also teleport in seconds, and he can also teach a dragon how to swim and climb walls. I'm actually very surprised he doesn't charge you for collecting trophies as well. And speaking of which, the next trophy that I managed to acquire acquire was called Dryfoot, and to get this trophy all you have to do is not touch the dirty water in Shady Oasis. Aren't I lucky that I finished the level before doing this? I got hit 3 times.
I'm afraid it's been cancelled because the stupid Earth Shapers set off the volcano.
This may come as a big shock to some of you, but I'm actually Irish and this accent is just appalling. It's the worst one I've heard since Tom Cruise's one. After dropping that bombshell of knowledge, I got the next trophy called Ganked, and how I acquired this trophy is by stealing a popcorn crystal away from Hunter. Of course Hunter can't just give me the orbs he has, I have to play a game with him. After dealing with Hunter's bullshit, I was on to fight the next mini boss, Gulp. Once again, big in size, no brains, and has back cannons for some reason. And then I was on to the next trophy, which was called Rescued, and I got this for headbutting all the turtles away from the big pot of soup that Foghorn Leghorn was trying to turn them into. What I don't get is they seemed very eager to get over to this pot and just jump in it. And the next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Ollie Ollie Oxenfree, which I got for throwing bombs at a bull without taking any damage. Do you reckon them things can drive a car as well as fly a saucer, or no? And this next trophy that I managed to get was called Bugging Out, and you get this for defeating 5 buggies while charging. Imagine you're driving along and all you see is this little blur of purple going past you. And then I was on to the final boss of this game, Ripto, and he's still as big as a coward as ever. But this is where I got my next trophy called RGB, which I managed to acquire by using 3 different power-ups that you're given in Ripto's arena. Hunter drops them in. Speaking of which, I'm almost sure Hunter's working for the other side at this point, because he's dropping them right at his feet for him to take rather than just dropping them near me. But once Ripto was defeated, I went on to get the rest of the trophies, and this one was called Sheeples, and I unlocked this trophy by not hitting any sheep in the level Cloud Temples. I wonder why these sheep are considered so special and the other ones aren't. The next trophy that I managed to get my hands on was called Yard Work, and you get this for head bashing every rock in the winter tundra. You know, if you subscribe, you get to see me do stupid shit like this the whole time, and you get to see me get all the trophies like this one, Hypersonic, which I got for lighting 6 gems in 15 seconds. MLG skills right here, I'm telling you. And the next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Warming Up the Crowd, and to get this trophy all you have to do is flame everybody in the stands watching you fly. Seems a lot more morbid now that I'm saying it. And once again, I have to do stupid shit with Hunter to get another orb. And then I had to go back to Crush to get the next trophy, Conservationalist 1. And how I managed to acquire this trophy is by not hitting or flaming any of the sheep that were dropped. And the name of this next trophy that I managed to get was called Unburnt. And all you have to do to get this trophy is don't touch the lava in Skelios Badlands. Which Spyro do you think looks cooler, the flamed one or the chilled one? I think the chilled one personally. This next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Giant Slayer, and you get this for defeating all the Earth Shapers in Fractured Hills. This is probably the only time Hunter was actually helpful. I did feel kind of bad defeating all the Earth Shapers though, like look at this fella. He looks so sad. And this next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Conservationist 2, which you get for defeating Gulp in his arena without hurting any of the sheep. And that trophy was definitely easier said than done, because fighting him's not easy without trying to get any health. And the next trophy that I managed to acquire was called Flying High, which you get for defeating the snowmobilers before the hang gliders in the level Icy Speedway. It was kind of funny just seeing them floating around with nowhere to go. This next trophy I managed to get was called Monkeying Around, and all you have to do is charge through the monkeys in Mystic Marsh. I also noticed something that the monkeys were flinging at me, and it wasn't their shit, it was Wampa fruit from Crash Bandicoot. And the next trophy that I managed to unlock was called Spitball, which you get for defeating all the Robo Bees by spitting at them. This trophy sounds absolutely disgusting. Spyro can be absolutely ruthless throughout this game. I mean, just look at him go. And the trophy I managed to get just before the platinum was called He's on Fire, for getting the permanent flame upgrade. He looks like he had something far too spicy for him. And then just like that, I unlocked the platinum trophy for Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. And yes, I do bet Ripto is very remorseful now. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope you have a very good day.